everyone, and good morning to another session with Having Coffee with Dr. Munné. Thank you so much for being here with us, Dr. Munné. And
Thank you.
today we are going to continue a talk about, oral health. And Dr. Munné is going to mention a little more about the topic today. And we just want to welcome you for another session. We do this every Friday. Try to squeeze time from Dr. Munné to do it, and so she can bring all the important, relevant information that you need to know for your oral health. So let's get to Dr. Munez so she will share this important information about oral health. Thank you, Dr. Munez.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. As Adrian was saying, I want to talk today about cleaning in between the teeth. And we have been already, like in this series, we reviewed how to use the manual toothbrush, how to use the electric toothbrush, how to use the floss. And we're going to discuss today a new method of also cleaning in between the teeth, like the floss, and that's going to be called the interdental brushes or proxy brushes. I have some here for you, and those brushes actually you can find them in the pharmacy, you can find them online, so they're really very easy to find these days. So because of that, I want to make sure that you know how to use them, so you can go and buy them because they make your life a lot easier. I think it's easier than flossing, and they do also a very good job, sometimes maybe a better job than the floss. And the reason why is because brushing has reaches all these little crevices in our teeth. Our surface, the surface of our teeth, if we would look them in a very powerful microscope, we're going to see that it's not a flat surface like, let's say, a glass. It actually is more like a stone, right? It has little in and outs and little crevices in there. And the floss, imagine, is a straight line. So when you're flossing, you only can floss what is touching the floss. And everything that has little concavities on those areas that are more protuberant, those are not going to be cleaned. So that always leaves a pathway for the bacteria to continue growing down into the gum level or continuing and staying in that surface and producing either decay or, as we mentioned, continuing to develop the periodontal disease. So the advantage of the proxy brushes or the interdental brushes are that the bristles, are going to be able to get in and out, right? So they're going to be brushing all those little crevices and, let's say, differences on the surface of our teeth. So I think that on that part, they're definitely doing a much better job than the floss. Now, before we only had proxy brushes, and I'm talking about, years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, that they were thicker for patients that had big spaces. Nowadays, we actually, and that's so good that we have all kinds of sizes. So you can have something that small and tiny, small and tiny like this one, that can fit into, people that had really tight spaces, or you have like more of a medium size. And you'll see that you can find them different brands online in your pharmacy. They're sometimes color coded. This is a long handle. This is actually a refill. So this has two areas. So you can open here, and when you open, you can squeeze a little wire that is you buy those refills, and then you close it, and you can change those. So you can always keep this handle, and it's handy to reach the back spaces, especially for older patients or patients that have issues with their hands. I think that this would be a better fit. This is a long proxy brush, and it has the refills on the top, and there's different kinds, and you can also ask your dentist, and here we give those to our patients. And those are the travel size that already come like on this handle. My hand is very active today. And you can buy them in variety packs that have a lot of different colors, different sizes, or you can buy them on a pack that they're all the same color, like here they're all pink. So if you have a specific size, so some patients have 2 or 3 different sizes in their mouth, and that's very common. So you're probably going to need to have not one size, but at least two, maybe three, sometimes even four. But the most important thing for that proxy brush to be efficient is that it has to be big enough to touch both sides of that space. So there's the tooth on this side and the tooth on this side of that interdental space, and not too small that it doesn't touch anything. So it has to be big enough that touches both, but if it's too loose, then it doesn't do anything. And if it's too tight that it doesn't go in, then of course you can use it. So finding the correct size is going to be the most important thing for your success. Now, how to use it? Well, actually very simple to use. So I'm going to use this space here. So you're going to go in and out in that space for 15 times. And you have to do the same thing coming from the inside. From the inside of the mouth, you need to go in and out. So you're going to go in and out on that space. Now, what happens, you might say, well, I tried to use them and they bend. So what it means that the brush would bend, right? It would bend like that. So
Mhm.
we want to make sure that the brush doesn't bend. When the brush is bending is because you're inserting it into the in between the teeth in the wrong way. So what does it mean? So if you have two teeth that have a pathway like that, we're going to have to bring our brush straight into that pathway. Now if we're going sideways, that's going to bend the brush. So basically that's what's happening. And it's very important because I know that we go, well, it's easier to do it from the outside. So we go ahead and do it on the outside, but you need to do it also from the inside. The other day when I was driving, I saw at a traffic light a lady that actually was proxy brushing in the traffic light. I was
Wow.
so proud. I
Amazing.
I thought kudos to her, because
Yes.
she's using her available time to have good home care, and that's
Mm.
perfect. You have a little time there, so I
Sometimes
saw.
that's the only time we have, right?
Yeah, well, that's good. So I thought that was very smart and very good, and I want you to utilize your time also. But if you want to get extra credit, you can actually brush. What I personally like to do is that I like to proxy brush, and then once I'm done, I would like to go and
Mm.
use those little flosses. They come in little boxes. Those little flosses, I like to go through the contact just to make sure that my contact also doesn't accumulate a lot of stain, and sometimes things get caught there. So I like to then do a quick, but then it's going to be a very quick flossing after I already use my proxy brush. So use it, doesn't matter if you use it before or after you're brushing. So you can brush first, or you can proxy brush first and then brush. Whatever you want to do, make sure you rinse thoroughly, and you do not need to use any toothpaste when you use that. You can clean them, you can disinfect them, run them through the water and dry them, and store them like that. But they have more than one use. So it's not like you use one and then you have to throw it
That's a
away.
good point,
You
doctor.
do not throw it away. You'll know when this starts getting like squished, or if it breaks, just then you discard it. But in the meantime, you can just like a regular toothbrush, you wash it, dry it, and then store it dry. And I think that that's going to help you on preventing all the interdental disease, which is the majority of the dental problems. So that's going to help you be successful.
Thank you so much again, Dr. Munné, for this explanation that she mentioned, and then how we can continue having an oral health. It's so important. And we just want to thank everyone who is watching actively and who follows us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We are in so many different platforms, and there are so more coming on for tapping in and reaching to different people to continue educating in oral health, which is so important. Thank you so much, Dr. Monet. Don't forget to like us on our social, follow us so you can get the notifications right when we're having the lives on Fridays. You can be notified and jump right in, and make sure that you share this live with others so they can also have prevention in their health. So you can find more information on us on healthy gums for number four, healthygumsforall.com. You can find more information about us. We'll see you at the next live session. And thank you so much for being with us today. See you later.